And we are rolling. Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are doing an episode of Hot and Cold. This is a video series I like to do where I talk about the best and worst music released over the past week, the hot being the best, the worst being the cold, and some middle-of-the-road tracks as well. This specific episode will be discussing any songs released between April 19th and 25th, 2020. The songs will be linked down below in the description, and if you have any future recommendations, feel free to let me know. Speaking about those future recommendations, we actually have some present recommendations to get to. A couple shoutouts to Tom from Tom Q Public and one of my Twitter followers, Miran. First up, we have Randy Newman's Stay Away. Now, I checked out this song from Tom, and I have to say, Randy Newman is like one of my favorite film score and soundtrack writers. Toy Story obviously taking the cake with that one, but thanks, Tom. Thanks for knowing that I would like Randy Newman. I mean, you probably didn't know that, but I do. About this new track, though, Stay Away, it's raw, it's intimate. You can actually hear the foot stomping as the recording's going on in this track. That's cute. It's corny. Pretty funny at some points, too. I mean, it's Randy Newman. He's kind of that guy. And the other song this week that I got a recommendation for is an Avril Lavigne cut. This is called We Are Warriors. This is a re-recorded version of the song Warrior, which found its way on to the most recent Avril LP in 2019. I didn't care for it much, and I know that this Twitter follower who gave me this recommendation won't appreciate that. But good news is I have warmed up to this song in particular. I feel like it has a similar enough vibe to Head Above Water that I can just get behind it a bit. Very powerful, strong vocals, and of course the lyrics. They're made to be about the collective we, as everyone is now a hero. Everyone's working together through these tough times. On top of this, proceeds from the song are going towards a great cause, Project Hope, to support healthcare workers on the front line. Great cause, a decent tune, and not my favorite Avril Lavigne song, but it's better than what I remember the 2019 LP being. Okay, so moving on to the hot tracks from the past week, we're going to get things started with Evanescence, their newest single, Wasted on You. First off, I love the twinkly production on the verses. The hook, it's pretty catchy. I love that it's in 6/8 and that time signature. It gives it a bit more of a ballad feel, very emotional. Moving on from there, Juice WRLD has a new single out. It's a posthumous release. It is entitled Righteous. It's a dive into the vault that is respectable. Beautiful guitar on this track. There's not a lot that I can say that is that bad. It's really good. There's a softer vocal performance from Juice. It makes it a heck of a lot more tolerable than what I think of when it comes to the rest of his discography. And it really is sad to read into the lyrics about drugs and anxiety, all that kind of stuff. Keeping things going, we have the Scotts, aka Travis Scott and Kid Cudi. They have a song out that is named after this duo that they've named themselves, the Scotts. Travis comes through with one of his better performances of late. Kid Cudi brings out the best of him and vice versa. I think Travis brings out the best in Cudi as well. The beat on this track is fire too. I especially love the snare. It just sounds so different for trap. The outro is also as heavenly as some songs from Kids See Ghosts. So hopefully the Scotts is more than just a one-off single. There is a lot of potential here, and I'm digging it. If You're Too Shy, Let Me Know is the latest single from the 1975. There is one hell of a sax solo on this track. It is, the song overall is very 80s inspired. The verses are a little forgettable here and there, but that hook is so catchy. It is so solid. I love the movie references on this song as well, to The Shining and Psycho. Once again, Matty Healy, he sings about the internet and relationships and just how we want things from the internet sometimes is a bit more physical, and it's physical. Moving on from there, though, Nathaniel Rateliff has a new song out. It is called Willies Birthday Song. It is a tribute to Willie Nelson. Great little folksy country tune, great texture with multiple instruments and vocal harmonies. Dead Horse by Hayley Williams is next up here. It's got an earworm kind of tune to it, slick production, and the new album from Hayley, it's looking like it's going to shape up and be a gem for 2020. Looking forward to that. Elsewhere this past week, another hot track, I gotta give it to Loony with In Code. Gorgeous R&B indie pop arrangement on this one, reminds me of Rex Orange County. And lastly, for hot tracks this week, we have Claws by Charli XCX. masterfully produced. I don't know how Charli is still writing pop masterpieces in quarantine, but she's killing the game right now. She's killing it. Give this new song a listen. Now, middle of the road tracks this week, thought they were okay. First up, we have The Killers with Fire and Bone. Imploding the Mirage, the upcoming album from The Killers, is unfortunately going to be postponed. An announcement should be made about the new release date in the coming weeks. But for now, a new single is here. It's very swanky. It sounds like it's coming straight out of the 80s. Really different for The Killers. Sounds a bit like Talking Heads. Now, I do like the lyrics, I like the bass, I like the drum performance, there's quite a bit going for it, but the tune, it's kind of lost on me when it's underneath all of this like glitzy and weird sound play. Sounds really left field. Hopefully it grows on me with the context of the full album. Elsewhere this past week, we also saw the Rolling Stones make their return. Latest single from them. It's been quite a while since we've heard anything. Living in a Ghost Town is the name of that one. And outside of the bridge vocal processing, which is atrocious, Mick Jagger sounds pretty good for his age. The tune, it's kind of average. I can't help but to feel that the chord progression and the O's are similar in shape to a song like Miss You. The new song is modernized though. It sounds a bit more contemporary, like an alternative rock cut maybe. It's okay. Moving on from there, Earl Sweatshirt, Whole World. This one features Maxo. Again, Earl Sweatshirt, he's in the dark, dreary trap lane, apathetic a bit at times. Earl, he's been one of the odd Future members. He's always had a lot of potential for me, and he's had some solid songs in the past. I just don't see the hype around his most recent material with some rap songs and Feet of Clay. Still, the latest song from him isn't terrible. James Blake also released a new song. This one's called You're Too Precious. It's pretty stagnant, not too much in terms of a progression, not much of a hook either, but it's soothing and enjoyable for a casual listen. Next up, Kayne Brown with Cool Again. This is another middle-of-the-road track, very glitzy and glamorous. It's like a single that was made for the summer. It's okay, just a little overproduced for my liking. It kind of sucks the country out of it. It sounds more like pop. So if that's your thing while listening to pop, then this might be your best fix for that. Diagnosis by Alanis Morissette is an emotional piano ballad. Basic chords on here. Usually lump in Alanis under the same umbrella I would with Celine Dion. I can tolerate their music, just don't really get much past that emotionally. Keeping things rolling, Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit released Dreamsicle. Admirable guitar playing, lovable performance, just a flat tune that hasn't really caught on to me yet. And lastly, for middle of the road this week, we have There Must Be More Than Blood by Seat Headrest. This is a long song. It's around 7.5 minutes. And Seat Headrest, they've had their fair share of ambitious songs in the past. I'm especially a fan of Vincent. This new tune here, though, just feels like it's biting off more than it can chew. The instrumental passages towards the end of the song are definitely my favorite parts. It's just that the pulse and the slow tempo kind of drag this song's quality down slightly. And as we typically do here, cold tracks at the end of this week, I have 3 to talk about. First up, we have Grandson and Femme with How About Now. There's an obnoxious hook on this one. The swearing isn't as nearly as emotive or as creative as Grandson thinks it is. It runs on repeat, it's too repetitive, and it's sterile and clean like an older Halsey track. Keith Urban with Polaroid, nostalgic garbage songwriting on here, horrendously compressed, not a fan. And finally, Suzuki with Lil Uzi Vert. This is laughable, let's not kid ourselves. The instrumental, it did have some potential going for it, but Uzi just sounds worse the deeper you get into the song. He definitely lacks the charisma that he had on EA. He essentially craps all over the mic on this one, figuratively speaking though, because that would be I wouldn't want to see that. There you have it. There's Hot and Cold for this week. Make sure you sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of these songs. Leave a like if you like. Subscribe if you're new in town. I'd appreciate that very much. As always, thanks for watching, and have a rockin' day.